Okay, so we can't see great, but we can see good enough. So this is the Sorek Valley coming down through here. And you have this valley associated with Samson. So biblical Lehi is up at the top of this valley where Samson killed 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a donkey. If you continue down this valley, you come to Timnah, the tell of Timnah, where his girlfriend is from. And that's where he found the dead lion, remember, with the honey in it on the way down there. And you can see, remember one of the stories is that he ties the foxes together by their tails and sets the wheat fields on fire. This is a huge wheat field down below us. And so this is the setting of Samson. Okay, 1 Samuel chapter 6 is what I'm going to read, starting in verse 13. It says, "Now the people of Beit Shemesh were harvesting their wheat in the valley. And when they looked up and saw the ark, they rejoiced at the sight. The cart came to the field of Joshua of Beit Shemesh, and there it stopped beside a large rock. The people chopped up the wood of the cart and sacrificed the cows as a burnt offering to Yahweh. The Levites took down the ark of Yahweh together with the chest containing the gold objects and placed them on the large rock. On that day, the people of Beit Shemesh offered burnt offerings and made sacrifices to Yahweh. The 5 rulers of the Philistines saw all this and then returned that same day to Ekron. These are the gold tumors the Philistines sent as a guilt offering to Yahweh, 1 each for Ashdod, Gaza, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. And the number of the gold rats was according to the number of the Philistine towns belonging to the 5 rulers. The fortified towns with their country villages, the large rock on which they set the ark of Yahweh, is a witness to this day in the field of Joshua of Beit Shemesh. But God struck down some of the men of Beit Shemesh, putting 70 of them to death because they had looked into the ark of Yahweh. The people mourned because of the heavy blow Yahweh had dealt them, and the men of Beit Shemesh asked, "Who can stand in the presence of Yahweh, this holy God? To whom will the ark go up from here?" They sent messengers to the people of Kiryat Jearim, saying, "The Philistines have returned the ark of Yahweh." Okay, so go back in your minds to yesterday when we were at Shiloh. Okay, so that's where the Israelites set up, and that's where the tabernacle and the ark was for over 300 years. Then they went to battle at a place called Aphek, and Aphek is a tell that's near Tel Aviv. And so they fought there, and the ark was captured by the Philistines, and it was taken to Ekron, which is further down near this valley. You can remember all kinds of nasty things they broke out with because they had the ark of God, and remember that they put the ark in the temple of their god Dagon, and then remember Dagon kept falling over, and it specifically says that it broke his head and his hands off. And so that's exactly what was found archaeologically in that temple in Hatzor when it was excavated, is the Canaanite idols had their heads and their hands cut off, and I showed you the one in the Israel Museum that they put the head back on. Just interesting. So they broke out with all these nasty stuff, the Philistines did, and so they put, they knew that why, it was because they had the ark of Yahweh, and so they put it on a cart drawn by oxen, and they sent it back to Israel. So the oxen came up this valley, and the people were harvesting their wheat. So we know what time of year it happened. It happened at the time of year of Pentecost. And it comes up this valley, and the people saw it and rejoiced. But some of them looked into the ark We saw that, didn't we, in the Indiana Jones movie? And, so 70 of them died. And so then from here, it went up to Kiryat Jearim. So the ark is now, in this period, traveling around apart from the tabernacle, the tent.
Right.
They've been separated. And so we read in this period, as it goes from the Judges period into the Kingdom period, we read of all these different places. Some, like for example, at Gibeon, we have the tent there, and we have the ark at Kiryat Jearim. But eventually, they're all brought up to the city of David by David, and then reunited there. And then that's where it's in his heart, hey, I'm living in this palace that I built, and why is Yahweh still living in a tent? And that's where it was in his heart to build him a house. Okay, so this is one of the places that, this is the first Israelite city that the ark came back to after the Philistines sent it out.
Do we know where the big rock is? Where it stopped?
Yeah, there is a big rock down in this field that's behind these buildings over here.
Over there?
Over here. Well, you can't see the one I'm talking about. You can't see from here. It could be that one.
Yeah.
Could be another one. But it's in the field of Joshua, so it would be out where the wheat is, where they did the sacrifice.
You know, what I always think of is not that they just looked into it, but in order to look into it, they had to remove the mercy seat, and without the mercy seat, you're dead.
Yeah.
So Joshua ended up here. This was all of his territory.
Well, the field of another Joshua. It's not the Joshua. Yeah, it's the field of Joshua. It calls him Joshua of Beit Shemesh.
Okay.
And so again, there's 5 of these valleys. Okay, and these valleys give access up to the ridge, where most of your biblical cities are, including Jerusalem. And so each one of these valleys is guarded by a city, an ancient city, a tell. And so we were just over at the Ajalon, which is guarded by Gezer. Now we're moving this way in this direction, which is south. We've come to the Sorek, which is guarded by Beit Shemesh. And then we're going to go into the next one over now, which is the Elah Valley, E-L-A-H, Elah Valley, where David and Goliath fought. Then we'll go into the Guvrin, which is guarded by, and the Elah is guarded by Azekah, and we're going to go there. There's bathrooms there, though not great bathrooms, but there's bathrooms there. And then Guvrin, which is guarded by Marashah, and then the Lachish Valley, which is guarded by Lachish. Okay?
Okay.